Oh, well, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the place where we set a passion ablaze. So glad that you guys have made the time to join me, hang out with me, come kick it with your homie for a little bit on Tuesday evening. My deepest apologies for no show on Friday. That was my bad. And I want to tell you guys really quickly off the top that this weekend in Indianapolis was fantastic. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was informative. It was inspiring. It was a great many things. And shout out to everyone that attended the National Black Radical Organizing Conference. I hope that's the name. I'm pretty sure that was the name of the joint. And I saw all your faves out there. I saw your all-stars. I saw some of my all-stars out there. So thanks to all that came up and said what's up. What's up to Miss Murders Curtis representing the D out there. Shout out to Nadia repping Milwaukee. Who else did I run into? Shout out to Rouse Pasta Sauce. Shout out to Love I Am. Shout out to Megan A. Who else did I see? I ran into several folks out in the spit out. Big up Musa. Who else did I see out there? Oh, well, of course, like I said, the All Stars. Shout out to Ricky Ryan. Shout out to Black Alliance for Peace. Also, big up to the other organizations that helped put this thing together. It was fantastic. The Malcolm X grassroots movement, Black Men Build, Cooperation Jackson, and of course, community movement builders. You guys should have seen Camus. It's Gemini season. You guys know Kamal's Gemini. So Kamal was deep in his Gemini bag, flourishing, absolutely shining. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So hopefully we will be able to reconvene tomorrow on the Remix Morning Show and give you guys more details about it. And, I know some of it was streamed on Black Liberation Media. Big up to the ear doctor for executing, dare I say, a flawless broadcast. Like every part of it that I saw online looked good, sounded good. But some of the sessions, some of the workout, the breakout workshops were fantastic. The one presented by journalist Margaret Kimberly, and of course our own Musa Springer. Woo, woo, woo. I also sat in on one of the last I don't know the difference between a plenary and a workshop, so don't ask. I'm not with the smarts. The smarts invited me as on a guest pass, but the last one that I saw had to do with food sovereignty, gang. And listen, it was struggle in some of these some of these workshops. Like it wasn't all a panacea and a utopia. There are some differences of opinion on some issues and some topics, but that's fine, because guess what? Everybody is clear on who our enemy is. Okay, across the board. And if so long as we're clear on that, we can get straight on the other things, in my little humble opinion. So again, thanks to all that watched from where you were in the world. My nephew Don, you was inquired about. You were missed. Let's put it that way. Several of y'all were missed. Niggas was like, where the fuck is Renee? Somebody came up to me. It was like, Kim, Saturdays with Renee. I said, not exactly. Not close. You close. I can see how you get me and Renee confused out here. You know what I'm saying? We both brilliant and shit. But no. So shout out to Culture 88. Who else did I see? Big up to Imani now. Big up to Claudia. Oh, oh, Brittany, you better knock it off. Shout out to Brittany. Brittany, thank you so much for coming out to the conference. You should have came up and said hi. I was nice to everybody, believe it or not. I surely was, because everybody was nice to me. And it was affirming in a way that I was not quite expecting, like the amount of love shown. I was glad to receive it. Shout out to our good sis Amber the Stallion. Amber was out there being Amber. It was great to see it in real life. So I'm appreciative. So thank you guys to everyone that came out. I hope you were able to take something tangible away from it, because I know I was. So I appreciate it. But you guys, in our mini fights as a people, as a society, as marginalized people, we are going to do what we can, and we're going to do all that we can to bring our people along, right? We got to at least bring them close to where we are. I don't know if we're going to bring them all the way, but we got to bring them close, because we cannot simply abandon our folks to the likes of the Democratic Party, which are wilting and faltering under this increased strain of this fascisty authoritarian regime that we have under Donald Trump. And as we witness the ongoing genocide in Palestine, we are seeing the illegal and criminal and inhumane deportation of many of our migrant neighbors and friends. Um, Even though within our respective communities, people are organizing and they are strategizing and they are preparing for the fight, if we have any expectation of America going back to normal, which I don't think is a reality nor a possibility, I think this country has finally crossed a Rubicon, has stepped over a threshold that we cannot walk back through. But now it's about what's next. And during the summer of 2020, we saw Black folks, brown folks, all the folks came out and put their bodies on the line. But now it's time for the people who have the most protection within the society, not wholesale protection, but the most protection within the society, to step it up. And we're seeing that in different ways, in some different actions that I've checked out across the country over the past couple of weeks. So I actually want us to start in Minneapolis, because on the 3rd of June, on Tuesday, there were some videos coming out of Minneapolis showing that the jackbooted thugs, this division known as ICE, continuing with these illegal raids of undocumented people. And I can't even say undocumented. That's a misnomer, because a good many of these folks have legal status. They have legal residency. They have green cards. They have pending asylum hearings. They do not have deportation orders. They are not charged criminally with anything, contrary to what the right likes to tell everybody, and more so to their audience. Simply crossing the border and not being an American citizen is not a criminal offense. It's an administrative charge, okay? It's not a criminal infraction. It's a misdemeanor, if that. So ICE is showing up under the directive of Stephen Miller, Nazi thug, who apparently has been screaming on the ICE higher-ups about increasing the number of arrested and detained migrants to 3,000 per day. So I want us to take a look at these clips that came out of Minneapolis. One of them being on the south side. If my niece Alicia is in the chat, if my son Tyler is in the chat, speak up, give us some context and some reference points to the places that we're about to see. But Minneapolis indeed has a very sizable immigrant and migrant population. A lot of folks from East Africa immigrate to the Minneapolis area. So let's take a look at some of these pictures.
Where are you going?
Homeland Security and ICE and Customs and Border Patrol, they know that people are watching. But they also know that there are limits to how far people are going to go in order to intercede on behalf of those who are being likely illegally arrested and detained. It's good that folks are showing up. It's good that white folks are showing up because white folks, here's the deal. And you know this, okay? Like, not exclusively, but you wield a great deal of social and cultural capital in the United States, right? And if a word or the phrase that was heard quite a bit over the weekend, if we reach a critical mass of whites that are not with the shits or with the shits, depending on your perspective, um, the actions of these jackbooted thugs they would think twice, right? They would know that, hey, maybe it's not safe for us to go into this migrant community because the last time we were here there was 20 rowdy whites. Maybe the next time there needs to be 200 rowdy whites, right? Because again, we know this, police are not usually trained to shoot white folks. They're not, it seems to pain police, or they seem to have like visible glitches in their processing when it comes to enacting certain types of brutality that comes easily and regularly when they're doing it against black and brown folks. They seem to have second thoughts and question themselves when it comes to doing violence against certain kinds of white folks. We know some of the lefty white folks with the green hair, they don't be caring. And they might come snatch y'all. But normies, right? No, that they're not trained to do that. I want us to also take a look. Where are we going next? Oh yes, the incident that's being talked about nationally that came out of San Diego. Big up Rosalba. Rosalba, I'm sure you're very familiar with this, as this is a national story as well. It should be. So ICE agents showed up. The I guess that was May the 30th, Friday, at a popular Italian restaurant in San Diego's South Park neighborhood. Now, I've never been to San Diego, but from what I've seen reported, that the South Park neighborhood is a very popular neighborhood. Um, a lot of people, come and go there. If something happens in South Park, the folks in the town usually seem to know about it. And not to mention that San Diego has a big immigrant community because it's so close to Tijuana. People, America, everybody leaves San Diego, goes down to Tijuana, comes right back, right? It's a porous border point. Regardless, ICE agents showed up as jackbooted thugs, as the Gestapo, there to raid the restaurant. They did arrest and detain some of the workers there, but the patrons came out and they were met, I wouldn't say with full-on violence, but the some of the accoutrements of the empire were in fact deployed against this crowd of white patrons that were trying to, well, not just white, but white, Latinx, etc. It was a melange of folks, but mostly whites out there that put their bodies out there and said that no, we are not with these shits. They cuss these ICE agents. They try to shame these ICE agents. They try to use their bodies to surround the ICE agents' vehicles to prevent them from leaving with the kidnapping victims that were 10 minutes ago in the kitchen, working, minding their brown ass business. But anyway, I wanted to take a look at some clips that I found, and they show different perspectives. One, I believe, is inside of the establishment when the ICE agents begin to enter. And when I tell you that the white women was cussing these motherfuckers out, I said, go ahead, white women, cuss. Cuss them the way they should be cussed. And then in subsequent clips, we're going to see the ICE agents start to deploy. I hate on the news the propaganda spin that these are flashbangs or flash grenades. I saw a military veteran more accurately describe these munitions as concussion grenades, right? Because that's what they are. That's what they're meant to do. They're meant to disorient, emit a loud sound and bright flash, to fuck you up non-lethally, right? So long as it's non-lethal, I guess we should be grateful that they're not just shooting down civil disobedient people in the streets. Well, not yet. Anyway, maybe we're in June. That might be what is waiting for us in September. Who the fuck really knows? But anyway, I want us to take a look at these clips out of San Diego where folks, regular folks, white folks, you better come on out. You better come on out, put your bodies out there in defense of more vulnerable people who will be met with explicit violence. So anyway, let's take a look at these clips.
And they're gonna be arresting you, brother. Watch. We're next.
Tiene derecho a hacer una llamada telefónica, compañero. No le diga nada, ninguna información.
Yo ya hablé con tu cuñada. Ya está con los abogados.
¡No tenga miedo, compañero! ¡No tenga miedo! Y no hable.
Shame on you! Only one agent showing its face here.
Fascist!
Only one of them. What
Fascist government can resist.
to arrest his own
Resist
people.
this
And
fascist government.
my
Step
guess, he
down.
doesn't live here in this community.
Y'all are gross, dude. You know that, right? None of us value you. The community hates you. The American people hate you. We all hate you. We don't want you here.
Tienes derecho a un abogado. Yo ya hablé con tu cuñada. Ya hablé con tu cuñada. Ya está con los abogados ella.
¿Él es el residente?
Él no es residente.
¿Tiene visa?
Él no tiene pasaporte.
Don't say anything.
Solo tienen
Don't
adentro,
talk to
tienen a un
him.
residente.
Don't talk to that motherfucker.
You do not have to answer anything.
Compañero, no le diga ninguna información.
What's his name?
Yo creo. I think his name is...
Tiene derecho a hacer una llamada, compañero. No les tiene que decir ninguna palabra.
No, you're okay.
Look at you, you're Latino. Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Go ahead and wink, pig. Eres un puerco, cabrón. Puerco. Puerco. Puerco feo. Puerco feo, diablo.
No son animales. No son animales para que los esposen así.
What about your family?
All immigrants in this country except for Native Americans. That's why you should all be shamed.
Hay otro.
You're not even
And you work for the biggest piece of shit ever.
here. Resist the fascist government!
Tell that guy again that he shouldn't talk to anybody.
No le hables a nadie, por favor. Ya hablé con tu cuñada yo. Tu cuñada ya va con tu abogado. No te preocupes.
Tienes derechos, compañero.
No firmes nada.
No firmes nada, no les digas nada.
Let me tell you who should be scared. All of you.
You need fucking 30 people to arrest one person.
Oh, there's more than 30.
Fuck you. Shame! 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 Back up! Yeah, back up! Back up! Shame! 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 Back up! Yeah, back up! That's right! That's right! Back the fuck up! Back up! You guys are fucking Nazis! Get the fuck out of here! You fucking Nazis!
Get inside, get inside, get inside, get inside, get inside. Get inside. Get inside, get inside, get inside. Stay right here, stay right here, stay right here. It's okay, it's okay. Stay right here, stay right here.
You guys said nothing's
It's
happening.
okay. It's okay. We're gonna leave right now. Stay right here. Stay right, it's okay, it's okay.
Daniela, look at me!
It's okay.
Absolutely incredible scenes coming out of San Diego. And in that last clip, it sounded as though the woman recording was comforting children who, after hearing the ICE jackbooted thugs, the ICE Gestapo start firing off concussion grenades, the children got scared because they're at a restaurant, because it's Friday fucking evening, and they had no idea that a whole ambush, a kidnapping was organized by the federal government in order to literally kidnap working people from their place of employment and detain them and take them to parts unknown for an indeterminate amount of time for no apparent reason. This is exactly where we are. And I think it's really important to see people attempt to put their bodies out there. And that's one part of the resistance. But I want to see way more from whites. I love the energy. These are good opening steps, but I need to see way more from the whites. And one thing, this is what I want the whites to work on. Okay. These Homeland Security people, these CBP agents, these alphabet boys that are out here literally just picking up black and brown people because they have non-European sounding last names and they speak with an accent, and for all the things, it's time to organize a social death for these folks. I'm talking about these agents. I've said this before, but thinking about it way more, because I have to be careful as to what we say these days, because Trump just signed up for Palantir or Palatine, whatever Peter Thiel's latest latest fuckery endeavor that is going to supposedly compile a master database of all of us, apparently, with all of our political leanings and ideologies and documented vocal opposition to the current administration and former administrations. Put me down for being against every administration, please, Palatine. Thank you so much. And spell my name right. It's not hard to spell. There's a billion. There's lots of Kim Browns out here. We are deep in these streets. But I need the white folks to show up in bigger ways. I want to see the Facebook groups, the way the white moms organize on Facebook. I need to see them shits. I need, and again, I'm not suggesting anything criminal nor defamatory, anything like that. However, if you know for a fact that somebody works for ICE, somebody works for Homeland Security, or somebody's partner, someone's husband, boyfriend, baby daddy works for Homeland Security and ICE, your social relationship with those people, it's finished. It's over. There's no kicking it. There's no going to their house. I don't care how nice their pool is. Like, no, your kids can't go over there and play with them. No, you will not be at Janet's 45th birthday party because her husband Todd is fucking Homeland Security and we don't like Todd. Okay, fuck Todd. Todd is out here doing bullshit like this, right? And I'm not suggesting docs or I am not making any of those kinds of suggestions. But what I am saying is we need to do what we can. And everybody may not be able to mobilize in the streets. Everybody may not be able to show up at the restaurants or the construction sites to put their bodies on the line. But what you can do, in addition to organizing, yes, and joining an organization and doing all the righteous political things, I support that. But also, we need to think non-linearly in our responses, right? And if white folks are good white folks know how to do a lot of things well. Violence is absolutely one of them. But another thing white folks are good for is socially freezing people out. they do that really, really good. So I need y'all to go work on that. I mean, you think I'm kidding? I'm dead fucking ass. All those people, those ICE agents in San Diego, they said all of them were masked except one. Who was that one? They properly shamed the Latino ICE agent. Yes, you fucking sell out. No, your child cannot go to his daughter's quinceañera. Like, no, all of it ends. All of it stops. Even if these are your relatives, even if this is your homeboy that you grew up with from way back when, it's done. Okay, we have to socially ice these people out. Okay, they are going to have to feel the repercussions because, of course, when they commit acts and duties like this, per this, for this administration, they're rewarded. Trump has proposed billions of dollars in new funding for Homeland Security and ICE, to the extent that some of these ICE agents, it's being proposed, I think, in his big, beautiful budget, that these Bamas get north of $40,000 in bonuses. Fuck that shit. If Trump and the state are going to reward them for kidnapping, for denying people due process, for executing these fascist methods and tactics, what's the way that we as people can do this without resorting to violence, right? Whites, I need you to get on this. You think I'm kidding? Well, speaking of the whites, hold on. The whites did get on a couple of things. So at the end of May, there was a neo-Nazi rally in Kansas City. I never knew neo-Nazis were in Missouri. I'm being facetious and sarcastic. Patriot Front came out in the streets of Kansas City. They were out there with their flags. Of course, they were out there masked because they're soft as scrotum skin. This is the thing that pissed me off so much about racists. They sit out there and they trained in the woods for months on end. They got their little flashlight signals and shit in the woods. They do all this shit. And then y'all pussies show up in public acting like you got all your little call and response chants together, and you cover your faces. What is the point? Aren't you proud? Why are you not proud to be in Patriot Front? Why are you not proud to be a Proud Boy? Well, the Proud Boys was out there, mask off. So shout out to the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys didn't give a fuck. Patriot Front, y'all a little soft out here. Y'all soft. Y'all must be the great grandsons of the Klan members. You know what I'm saying? See, the Proud Boys, they was White Citizens Council. Again, mask off. They didn't give a fuck. Patriot Front, y'all out here soft and shit with your faces covered. Oh, what happened to the masking? I thought y'all didn't like masking, or now y'all like masking. Got it. Anyway, back to Kansas City. So the Patriot Front neo-Nazis marched in Kansas City. I guess shocking some of the white folks out there. I do not know why. I do not know why they were shocked. Anywho, but the anti-racist whites decided to organize a counter protest, and I wanted us to take a quick look at that.
Protesters gathered in Kansas City today for a No Nazis in KC rally. This was in response to a white nationalist protest held last weekend in KC. KMBC9's Alan Shope explains.
We do not support them, and we are here to fight back against them.
And that's why Lisa says the Kansas City Women's Action Collective organizing this anti-Nazi rally on the plaza Saturday.
People had very visceral reactions to seeing Nazis coming to the city.
Lisa is talking about this group, the Patriot Front, that protested in downtown Kansas City last weekend. On Saturday afternoon, this group was sending a strong message back.
Conquer the hate Nazis. That's not what I want in the city or this country.
What a chicken thing to go bust in, masked on, for what?
Disgusting and shameful.
Many of the protesters on Saturday say it sends the wrong message about Kansas City.
Seeing that in my 24 years of my life, I've never seen that before. I thought it'd be important to show that we don't accept hate or bigotry or racism in Kansas City.
More than 300 folks showing up for the...
Oh, that's where it ended right there. Now, some again, the pictures are cute. The No Nazis in KC rally. That's cute. That's cute. And, taking into consideration that this is a mainstream local news piece, it's going to be lacking lots of things. They spoke to a lot of women there. I'm not sure how many men were in attendance. And for the one person that spoke and said how shocked they were to see the neo-Nazis in Kansas City, when I started trying to find other clips about these neo-Nazi rallies and then the anti-racist response. Guess what, y'all? The neo-Nazis have been marching in Kansas City for some time. They was there 2 years ago. They was there 8 years ago. The neo-Nazis and the white supremacists and the white nationalists showing up to publicly rally in all their fucking bravado and regalia in Kansas City specifically is not a new phenomenon, not a new occurrence. And I understand, again, people come to consciousness and political consciousness and even paying attention to the news to some extent, at varying times. So I'm not going to hold it too much against the 24-year-old who said they'd never seen this in Kansas City. I can tell you, as someone who was a transplant to Missouri, whoo-wee, that is a special brand of racism out there, baby. And it's interesting to me, like when white, and again, I'm trying to give this young person some grace here because they said they were 24, so I was like, all right, the fuck did I know at 24? Probably not very much. But when some white folks be like, I've never seen this, we've never had this here, we've never experienced it, it's like, no, you've had the privilege to never pay attention, to never notice, to never be inconvenienced by it, maybe to have never been offended by it, right? Like, the levels of disconnect that white folks are allowed to have, even when it comes to their other folks within their group who are violent, who are virulently racist, who are virulently misogynist. Like, sometimes a lot of white folks have just the privilege to not even pay attention or even acknowledge it. And I'm glad that they came out for a counter rally. But what I would really have loved to seen was the anti-racist men show up and meet those fucking Patriot Front fuckers in the streets. Like, and I don't expect the elderly white woman to go out there and try to fight the Patriot Front. No, I don't. But when it comes to this kind of wartime that people on our side, that all of us are facing, some more seriously than others, but if you have certain views, you're on a side, right? Whether you know it or not. The ones that are able-bodied and who have the abilities and who also have the privilege and the resources, like, you gotta show up and be ready to throw hands. Like, you have to understand, these white racists, these white nationalists, they only understand violence. Look at what they did on January 6th. Look how they were rewarded for their violence. And I'm not to say that if you are a white person, an able-bodied white male in particular, not to say that that you are immune from violence, but you are the least likely to get in trouble. You are the least likely to get arrested. You are the most likely to have bail/bond money. And when it comes to the white on white, mano y mano, it's some of the best battles America's ever seen. have been when the whites take on each other. And that's what I want to see more of that. Okay. We got to reach a critical mass of whites. We absolutely have to continue working on Black and brown people out, and we will absolutely do that. But I feel as though we perhaps, and again, I don't want to give America too much credit, because every time I try to think that America might be ready to turn a corner of common sense and decency, the United States reminds me that it is indeed the United States. And white folks, if you are not so motivated to go out and fight on behalf of migrants, to fight on behalf of the Palestinians who are facing a genocide, you're probably going to have to go out there and fight on behalf of yourselves, because what Trump and his ilk are making crystal clear, that if you don't come from a certain class, if you don't come from a certain amount of money or pedigree or connection, they are going to leave you out there to fend for yourself, as we are seeing the massive amount of cuts to social programs like SNAP. We're seeing cuts proposed to Medicaid. Trump is ready to leave rural white America in the dust. Okay. He's ready to leave them in the fucking dust. Now, Black and browns, we already knew. Okay. We been knew. We already knew what time it was when it comes to Trump, but the lower class whites, the poor whites, the rural whites, you thought Trump was coming to help you, coming to save you. You see, this motherfucker done cut FEMA. The folks living in Western North Carolina not getting any more FEMA assistance, per your boy. I want us to look at really quickly at this package that I saw coming out of Idaho. Because in the United States, it doesn't get much whiter than Idaho. Okay, now, if the whites are down bad in Idaho, you can likely assume that the whites are soon to be, if they are not already, the working class whites, the lower class, the poor whites. If they're not down bad right now, they are about to be really down bad. So I wanted to take a look at this package coming out of Idaho, where the food pantries are starting to run just a little bare. So, Will, let's go ahead and take a look at that, please.
Been cut back in the last 6 months drastically.
At the Horseshoe Bend Food Pantry, things are looking a little bare.
This is what this looks like now.
It's empty.
I have 6 freezers, and I think one is full, and that's it.
Robin Green runs the Horseshoe Bend Food Pantry and depends on her team of volunteers, including drivers who go to the Idaho Food Bank every 2 weeks to pick up 2 pallets of food. That in itself saves hundreds of dollars from their small monthly budget. So if you know anyone who has a truck and time, give Robin a call. Green sits on the board of directors of the Western Idaho Community Action Partnership and says these federal cutbacks are being felt across the board.
We cover 7 counties at BIDWKB. Those 7 counties are losing out on USDA food also.
I know it's the right thing to do. Why do you do it?
Why shouldn't we? I mean, we love everybody.
And Robin doesn't hide the fact that the number of people needing assistance is growing, including herself. You also need the assistance yourself?
Yes. I never thought in all my years that I would have to say that, but yeah, the older I get, the more help I need.
So you will make a box for yourself?
Yep.
Reporting outside of Horseshoe Bend, I'm senior reporter Don Nelson, Idaho News 6.
We have to remember that we live in a country that does not have a social safety net. Even for as much as people value, rightfully so, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, these things I think we're seeing now that they are not promised, they are not guarantees, they are not enshrined in the Constitution. And even if they were, Trump wouldn't give a fuck about it. Okay, it's a new day. And that elderly white lady, she didn't think that this would be her needing food assistance after she has worked diligently to try to feed her community. Now it is she that is also in need, in addition to the other folks. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, for the whites, this is what y'all need to understand. They're coming for the migrants today, legal and otherwise. Okay, people who have every legal valid right to be here, they're coming for them anyway. They are denying them due process. They are kidnapping them and either deporting them to their country of origin or to whatever fucking country I guess will take them. El Salvador, Libya, Sudan, who in the hell knows, right? It's so indiscriminate and cruel. It's if it wasn't so tragic, it'd be laughable, right? But it's the migrants today. I don't know how far down the list poor folks are, and we already know poor Black folks are already high to be targeted by the state just for clocking our actions, standing on the goddamn corner, smoking reefers, doing whatever Black folks be minding our business fucking doing. But let's say it gets to the point where when you can't pay your landlord, when you can't pay your utilities, or something that we have always taken for granted as not being a jailable offense, right? Or in the ways that the great Imani Barbarin views it. I mean, she doesn't think it's beyond the pale that disabled people will be rounded up specifically. Obviously, we have seen that happen repeatedly in history, right? Why wouldn't it happen in the 21st century? Because we're evolved? No, we're not. Woke is a bad word in the 21st century. Being kind and aware and conscientious about folks who are vulnerable or less able than you, that's woke. You can't be doing that shit. And if the ICE jackbooted thugs are willing to kidnap literally innocent people, why wouldn't they roll around and start rounding up wheelchair users, visually impaired people, hard of hearing people, people that are known and documented to have some sort of mental illness. That's why I tell y'all, be easy about how much you broadcast, especially your mental health, especially if you got real diagnoses out here. I got imagined diagnoses. I got speculative diagnosis, but for y'all with real diagnosis, and that's not, and I feel honestly a little weird even saying that, because I know we're trying to get rid of the stigma around mental health, and I understand that. However, when Peter Thiel starts running the Paladin on your goddamn social media, and you got 100 posts about your meds and your diagnosis and shit, and they send out the fucking mental health assistance unit to come do wellness checks on the mentally ill, they're going to know exactly who you are, where you are, what you got, because you done told them. Okay, so I want us to be easy about the kind of health information that we disseminate, and that goes for me too, even though I've said my shit, but I say my shit to try to give y'all an idea of what the fuck I'm dealing with, but you understand. So anyway, so we definitely have multi-pronged strategies out here, but I, in addition to, you know, supporting the Black community, speaking up for Black women, speaking up for Black LGBTQ folks and Black children, having had some proximity to whites, I feel as though it's my duty. I have to tell you, because I mean, I know some of the radical whites are doing that work, but let me reiterate, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need y'all to get on the ball. We need y'all, if you're able-bodied, you know, to do so, be ready to put your body somewhere. If you're catty and petty, organize the social death of these fucking jackbooted thugs and the social calendars of their families. Like, let's get on our shit. If you live in a red state where they give away guns at the goddamn CVS, go get you some guns. go get some ammo tonight. You understand? Like let's start preparing. Like, there is a war a coming. Okay. And if you're a radical white, if you consider yourself an ally, if you consider yourself an anti-racist, nigga, it's you. We are calling upon you to get your shit together immediately, at the same time, while trying to free more minds from the Caucasus Mountains. We need those minds freed, and we need y'all to get y'all shit together. If you're already on your shit, like the good sis Frances out here, Franny's out here on her joint. Megan A was out here on her joint. Shout out to the whites that's already getting it done. But for the whites that's speculating, and if you're scared to have real conversations with your people, that's fine. Go buy guns. Thank you so much. Go buy ammunition. Thank you so much. And start organizing those social deaths for these jackbooted thugs. Let me take a bit of a break here. We're going to actually keep this moving. I don't really have that much more to go. I actually have some good news, believe it or not. Some good news, believe it or not. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Oh, shout out to Jessica I, who ran Air Doctor and myself support for Classical Breakdown, where we did the reggae crooners, the Lovers Rock. We do that Thursdays. We try on Black Liberation Media, 11 a.m. Eastern. Join us this Thursday for Classical Breakdown in honor of June being LGBTQ Pride Month. I would like for us to feature some gay artists that are about it. And this Thursday, we're going to be doing Billy Preston. If you don't know who Billy Preston is, please join us. Billy Preston had a very notable solo career, but Billy Preston is best known, or maybe not as well known, for his writing and producing that he did for the Beatles and for the Rolling Stones. Like, again, where would the whites be without us? where would they be without us? They would not be the Beatles and the Rolling Stones as we know them, I assure you. So Billy Preston had a tremendously outsized, if not understated, influence on rock music. So, and he was gay as the day is long. He's one of them church gays. I love it. I mean, because that means that you know this motherfucker can sing and bang out that piano and bang out that organ What is it about the black LGBTQ folks that come out to church? Like they are elite level of talent, dog. I mean, God has anointed them. And the fellow Christians shame them. It's the dumbest shit anyway. But Billy Preston, we're doing that this Thursday on Classical Breakdown, Black Liberation Media, 11 a.m. Thank you so much. Please join us. And if you're sitting here, will doth my eyes deceive me? Because they deceive me. They deceive me quite a bit. How many people do we have in here? Let me not scream out a number and I'd be wrong.
We got 147 people in the chat.
Well.
A lot of trolls. Ice
hey,
troll.
Hey, boo, hey. How y'all doing? Y'all came to say hi? Came to gaze upon.
The argument game is very subpar.
Oh my gosh, the troll. Y'all are cute though. I love it. Like the video, please and thank you.
Yeah, like the video, right? Do something.
Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support us with some material support, we appreciate it. $ BIDWKB on Cash App, at BIDWKB on Venmo, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. And thank you so much, as always, to our wonderful patrons at Patreon.com/BIDWKB. Guys, we have trolls here. What's up? Shout out to all of our wonderful mods in here swatting these trolls, I'm sure. But if the trolls get a funny off, let them get a little funny off. Y'all know oh, they just being
You know they never funny and creative. It's always some goofy shit.
But see, I would love. What are they asking about? Milk or some shit? What's the dumb shit that they like to do? It's sad though, but that's okay. You guys, Andrew Tate's going to jail. Maybe you guys can follow him. And when he does his podcast he's not going to jail. What am I saying? He's a white man with plenty of protection. All he did was hurt women. That's not a punishable offense. Anyway, I'm sorry. But anyway, shout out to the trolls. Let me move along here, guys, because I do have some good news. Because if you're not paying attention to what's going on the continent, you should be. And you need to especially be tuned into what is happening in Burkina Faso. So, by the way, guys, maybe Friday. Remember that clip I played? Was it last week? Of my guy. Oh my God. I still do not know who this man is. He had a red beret on and he was cussing Michael. Oh, Michael. He told Michael better not bring his black ass to Africa. He said, U.S. Army, if you cannot find Michael, we have him. I said, oh shit. I was trying to figure out who Michael was, but y'all knew who the fuck Michael was. Michael is that bitch ass nigga who's in charge of AFRICOM. Black men who speak that way cannot be ever trusted. So anyway, now that I done figured out what the fuck Michael done said, he said some shit about Captain Traoré. And the continent did not like it. As well, they should not have liked it. In case you don't know, Ibrahim Traoré is the president. Is he still the interim president? Interim president of Burkina Faso, West African nation. He came to power, almost 3 years ago in a military coup. And since then, he has kicked out the colonizers. He has kicked out the French. He is trying to nationalize Burkina Faso's resources and put Burkina Faso's own talents back to work within its country. Also helping to form the Association of the Sahel States, along with the countries of Mali and Niger. Ibrahim Traoré, I watched some of the brothers and sisters from the continent, the content creators on TikTok. The one sister calls him the Messiah. Okay, I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. I know we like him. And I know he's fine at the same time. I think it's dangerous for Black folks, African folks, to deify. Is that the word? Deify, yes, to make a Messiah out of one person, because we know that the enemy will make it a point to try to take out that person. And as reports indicate, not Western media outlets, of course, but reports directly coming from the continent, that there have been a number of assassination attempts on Ibrahim Traoré. No doubt that these are Western-backed goals to try to exterminate him, even though Burkina Faso is such a small country. The ripple effect of what Captain Traore is doing and the things that he is saying is incredible. So I followed this one creator. His name is Wole Maya. I hope I'm saying his name right. WOLE. I'm sorry, Wode. 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 I hope I'm saying his name right. Wode is Ghanaian, but he's been traveling around West Africa, really doing some really cool reporting, giving us an idea of some of the burgeoning infrastructure projects happening in Ghana and different places. But he was in Burkina Faso, and I wanted to show you guys some of what Captain Traore is doing. Okay, see, when the colonizers are not getting their cut and the African people get to actually benefit themselves from their lands, natural wealth and resources, it's amazing. It's amazing how much development can actually happen when you kick crackers out of your fucking country. And I love it for them. So let's go ahead and run this. This is from Wode Maya, broadcasting live, coming to us from Burkina Faso with the update about how Captain Traore is reshaping the nation. Let's take a look.
What is really happening in Burkina Faso is a revolution that I believe that the entire continent of Africa can emulate. I mean, when you have a leader that really cares about his people, he makes sure that he delivers. Guess what? Will you believe if I tell you that the entire country of Burkina Faso could only boast of 3,000 kilometers paved road from independence till now? Will you believe me? Will you believe me? I mean, a country called Botswana could boast of 3,000 kilometers when the British left them. But the French left, a government came to power. See, that's a construction going on. A government came to power for over 27 years. How old is this country?
The country, the independence since 1960.
1960?
Yeah.
And the country could only boast of 3,000 kilometers.
3,000 kilometers, I'm telling you.
Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. As Wodemai was saying, since the independence up to today, we had just 3,000 something paved roads. But now, with the coming of Traore, they are planning to pave 5,000 kilometers per year. This is insane. This is unbelievable.
How are they achieving that? Yeah, they bought all the equipment because the government doesn't want anymore to let any company be in charge of this. So they bought all the equipment to do it by itself. The government is in charge of building all those roads that you can see.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. As you guys, maybe some of you saw the equipment coming from Ghana.
Okay.
People made a lot of videos about it. So the equipment are here. The government is taking care of constructing or building the roads. Because, sometimes they give it to private companies and they take forever to finish some roads. So the government is now taking care of building the roads with their own equipment and everything. So that's what's happening.
And one of the most exciting thing about this whole road construction in Burkina Faso, the fact that the government bought all the equipment, trained the youth to operate this equipment. So literally, it's the people of Burkina Faso building the country for the people of this beautiful country.
The country is under construction.
Burkina Faso indeed is under construction because I am here and I'm seeing roads being constructed. I am here and I'm seeing factories being built. I am here and I'm seeing entrepreneurs coming out saying that this is their first time, feeling so proud about their country to do business in their country. This is a revolution, and I believe that a revolution like this needs to be supported. My name is Wodemaya, an African content creator on a journey to celebrate African excellence. I'll see you all in the next one.
I love his content. I love his stories. I love his energy. I love his accent. I love the Ghanaian accent. Yes, so that is what's happening. One of the many things happening in Burkina Faso. Shout out to Pamela Jones. Pamela Jones says she know Wode. Wode Chichimacha. The man name is Wode. You know I gotta call him Wode. Wode. My bad, Wode, if that's not how you pronounce your name, but it's all love though. And excellent reporting and excellent work. And listen, guys, like what we need to be monitoring what's going on in Burkina Faso for a number of reasons. Obviously, we need to send protection and solidarity vibes to Captain Traore at all times, But at the same time, we're kind of seeing what can be done in the shadow or in the aftermath of deposing the colonizers or those that are the stand-ins for colonizers, right? I guess that's people control of the means of production, right? I mean, getting there. I know they are now producing Burkina Faso, that is, are now producing, I believe, their own tomato paste. And tomato paste is a bit of a staple in a lot of African cuisine. And they were importing, even though Burkina Faso grows a tremendous amount of tomatoes, they were importing tomato paste at an exorbitant cost. And that's another thing that Captain Traore decided to nationalize. But to see the infrastructure improvements in a relatively short amount of time, I mean, there are some African leaders that are just sitting. These motherfuckers just sitting around, not doing fucking shit, collecting their cut from the non-African resource usurpers, from the thieves that come to Africa to steal the gold, the minerals, the natural things that are invaluable in the 20th century. Captain Traore is not doing that. You heard the one brother say when we had private companies doing these infrastructure projects, they would take forever. Yes, they would draw out the contract and make it run up exorbitant costs. You know, oh, we're over budget, or you know, we're past the deadline, we need more money. No, Captain Traore is doing the right thing. Train up the Burkina Bay and let them build, right? Africa never suffered from lack of talent. Africa never suffered from lack of workers. Africa never suffered from lack of resources. Africa has been intentionally underdeveloped by the West. Same in our communities, right? Where's the hood where you live? Is it intentionally being underdeveloped? Yes, it is, I'm sure. Are there much needed infrastructure projects and basic necessities that lots of impoverished communities are lacking intentionally? Of course. So I want us to take inspiration from what's going on in Burkina Faso and lift up your voice in solidarity. Tell people who don't even know where Burkina Faso is. It's so small. I love it, but it's always the small countries that really get the attention of empire. And because they're so small, I'm thinking of Grenada, I'm thinking of Vietnam, you know, I'm thinking of Cuba, I'm thinking of Nicaragua. I mean, even though Nicaragua is big in land, but still, my point, we're not talking about huge industrialized countries that the West will spare no expense to try to destabilize and to kneecap their efforts and their attempts at independence and economic autonomy. So lift it up, your voice, raise it up. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Ibrahim Traore and why he's somebody not only to watch, but someone to root for, someone that we need to be educating and informing each other about what he and the Burkina Faso people are doing there. So big up, big up, big up. What's up, the Jamon? Oh, you watch Wody? Oh, he went to South Africa. He went to Orania. I need to go see that. I saw a video, the Jamon, that whoa they did. I think he was in Ghana, and it was a recycle plant that young people had done some innovation around, and they were recycling literally everything. Like nothing was going unused. And again, the innovation and the ingenuity of our people, like we don't lack smarts, but beloved, we need the crackers out of our lands, please and thank you. I don't understand why Europeans don't. Oh, no, yeah. What? Why don't the whites want to go back? like, like you hear black people in America pine for Africa. Not all, because I know we have some goofy Negroes over here that don't even think that they're African. Which, okay, I don't know what you think you are, but okay, whatever. You are. I hate to break it to you. I pine for Africa. I would love to go to Africa, see Africa, touch Africa, be in Africa for an extended stay. But the whites, they don't want, I mean, I would live in Africa to be quite fucking honest, but the whites don't want to go back to Europe to stay. But Europe misses you. They miss you. They miss you in Slovenia. They miss you. They miss you. Belgium, they miss you. They miss you. You should go back. Oh, and if we do have trolls, by the way, you can run support to BIDWKB on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and or Patreon, because I won't turn down dollars to go back to Africa. Like, if you want to fund me to go back to Africa, well, stop being a lazy bitch about it. And don't fuck around with it. Do it expeditiously. Like let's get on it, okay? If you want me to go back to Africa, get on it, Chad. Run that Cash App, Jonah. JXY. What's up, Neo Geo 12? We got some new youngins in here. Thank you so much for checking in. Shout out to our all stars. What's up, Fran French? What's up, Swery Ferries? Who else we got up in here? Dante Teray. I see my nephew, Don Hammond. Come on in. Big up to everyone that's watching on Twitch, by the way. Will said that the Twitch numbers are going up. Thank you so much. Shout out to Northern Witch D. Thank you, lovely lady. Thank you so much for all your support. What's up, Wendy? Who was the other one? Oh, Cindy Rose. Cindy, thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy, for all you do. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, shout out to Latif. Thank you, Latif. PMJ, thanks so much. Shout out to Court. Big up to Afraid Not. What's up, Tyler Hackner? Did I say Sweary Furry already? Thank you, Sweary Fur. Keeping a riff raff, keeping keeping a sucker free. Listen, y'all. I don't like to subject y'all to the trolls, because I think I feel bad for the folks that are our day oneers and are our loyal fire famers, because I think the trolls kind of subtract from your experience in the chat, and I don't like for that to happen. The tragic thing is, this is a fucking numbers algorithm game. So even though these little dick energy dipshits come in here and talk their little shit, beating their little, it drives engagement. It drives engagement. It drives engagement. What am I gonna do? I'm beholden to the beast. Peace, old dirty kung fu. Thank you so much. Nat A, what's up? Thank you so much, Nat A. Shout out to Shirley. Can I say that was my only disappointment coming out of Indianapolis? Well, I did not see Shirley. Shout out Valley Girls. Hey, baby. Thank you, niece. Thank you. Come on in here. Love you guys. So I've got some palate cleansers for y'all. One of the takeaways from the National Radical Organizing Conference in Indianapolis was the message I heard coming from some of the elder men. And as somebody that wants men as a whole, I want men to do better. And I'm not talking about any individuals. You guys know I'm talking about it's a few fucking fuck boys bringing the whole gender down. You understand? Like it's a few rotten apples, indeed, attempting to spoil the bunch. And the elder Black brothers that came through and spoke at the conference talked directly to that. And he talked about the need for Black men to, check their ego and to assess their own patriarchy and the role that they may intentionally or even unintentionally be playing in keeping Black women down or hurt or a myriad of things. And it was a message that I appreciated hearing, especially from other men, because that's who the messaging needs to come from, especially brothers with wisdom. But another message that I saw in today's palate cleanser was one of protection. And Malcolm X spoke about how the Black woman is the least protected in the whole world, and that is a very true statement. And I want to see Black women and girls be protected by Black boys and Black men. And this palate cleanser shows the lengths in which a Black father would go to defend his child. Now, I would love to know the follow up to this story because I'm not sure what, if anything, happened after this video. But apparently, this dad, who's probably in my age range, 40s, 50s, was made aware that his daughter had been physically abused by her partner. And then dad sprang into action. Now, this is what I idealize how fathers protect their daughters. So to see it like this, it just warmed my ice cold heart. Let's take a look. Well, crank it from the beginning, sir.
Just got here to police just got here to get this dude that put his hands on my daughter. Right now he unconscious, so they don't know I did it. So he in the back of that ambulance right there right now. So I'm just waiting until they get finished. I'm gonna tell them what happened though. I know they're gonna take me to jail, but don't put your hands on one of my kids. Cause this is a ride you're gonna have to take right here. So I don't know if he's still unconscious in this ambulance or not, but we're gonna find out in a minute. So hey, I do it all over again for one of my kids. I'm gonna tell them when they come around here though. What happened? I had to put them hands on them. I told them before I got over here, don't touch my kid, bro. So now I'm gonna sit on the port and just wait till they get finished. And I'll take that ride on down to the county. Yeah. Put your hand on one of my kids. This is consequence right here.
Consequences. Not a complicated word nor concept, yes? Consequences. Something that I think more harmful and abusive people, but more specifically, more harmful and abusive men need to be made aware exist. Consequences. And unfortunately, when it comes to harm and violence against women and girls, there are dreadfully few consequences. I've seen some stories recently, maybe I'll get into them on Friday, where known violent sexual predators, child abusers were arrested, charged, given minimal bonds, immediately out back on the street to commit and harm and cause violence again, right? And the reason that is because the first time that abuser and or predator committed a violation against somebody, they likely got away with it. They likely got away with it the second time. They likely got away with it the third time. Got away with it so many times to the point and they got away with it for a variety of reasons, because sometimes survivors and victims don't want to involve the police because the police are not a universally helpful entity, especially if you're a woman and or a survivor of some sort of sex assault in particular. God, we see how they treat male survivors of sex assault. God damn, you know how they treat women. But The police are not helpful, so I understand why a lot of people may not go forward and press charges. And so this just further emboldens the abuser or predator. They think that they're entitled to treat people and harm people in this way. They think that nothing's going to happen to them. And tragically, more often than not, they're right. They're right. But if they encountered more brothers, if we had more brothers like this father, okay? If we had more brothers like this father, I bet you the amount of bullshit, the amount of physical harm, emotional harm, sexual violence that and disproportionately impacts Black women and girls, that shit would go down. The problem is the predators and abusers, they target women and girls who don't have strong strong male presences in their lives. Now, this particular young man who I guess is laid up unconscious in the back of the ambulance, I guess he took this young lady's daddy for a solve. He took this man for a joke. And I appreciate that Gen X brother, because he does appear to be Gen X. I appreciate that Gen X brother showing up to let that little coward, soft as scrotum skinned young man who likes to put his hands on people's daughters. I'm glad the Gen X brother showed up and laid him out. You know what I'm saying? If you dispense violence, you should expect to receive some in return, especially if you are dispensing violence against someone not as strong as you, or someone more vulnerable than you. A bigger, stronger person might actually show up in defense of the weaker one. So maybe you should think twice before you let your temper or your little fragile ego get the better of you, and you want to go putting hands on people. Because I would love for there not only to be more fathers like this brother, but for the people, for the children, for the girls, for the women, for those that don't have fathers. Like, where is the male protection squad showing up? Okay, it can't be 5-0. It cannot be Policia. Okay, it needs to be brothers cut from the same cloth as that gentleman, right? I'm gonna say about 10 deep. I'm gonna say about 10 deep, and they're gonna be strapped. All right. And if they get the call that a woman or child is being harmed by a fucking grown ass man, or a not quite grown young boy, young person, the male protection squad needs to show up and handle business. Don't put him in the ground, but make him feel it to the point that he's going to think twice before he thinks about harming somebody else's child in the same way. And that's the problem. The predators and abusers are not made to feel consequences in the instant, in the moment, not usually made to feel consequences through the criminal injustice system. So in order for us to continue to balance the scales, to sort of right the karmic and power wrongs of the world in which we inhabit, we may have to get creative. Okay, we may have to think outside the box. We may have to try to figure out how to problem solve in ways that do not involve the system, and trying to figure out ways to actively stop and prevent gender-based violence against women is something that I really want us to be focused on. And I want the brothers to have conversations amongst themselves. I want, for my grown men out here who are parents, you know, if you hear or your child comes and reports something to you, you know what I'm saying? Maybe start a group chat on your burner phone with your other cohorts, and don't take this is not legal advice. Don't call the police. Go get your boys and go fuck him up. It's really no trouble. And while you're fucking him up, let him know why he's getting fucked up. Tell him who is this ass beating because of. Who has you earned this ass beating as a result of you harming? Dick face. That's the kind of shit I'm trying to see in the 21st century. Anyway. And last but not least, let me get to my final palate cleanser, gang. I know I said palate cleanser, but let me just remind all of us that likely don't need reminding, but the genocide in Gaza continues under the watch and aiding and abetting of the United States and basically entire West. I don't give a fuck what Keir Starmer or this one or that one has got to say about Israel. Nigga, cut off the fucking arms. Since you want to talk so goddamn much, France, Canada, UK. At least Trump is consistent with his shit. Trump has stayed steadfast in his not giving a fuck about the genocide, but we do care very deeply about the genocide and, of course, the folks that are being slaughtered as they are attempting to get aid as they are facing starvation. And one of the American colleges and universities in which the pro-Palestine movement, I won't necessarily say ground zero, maybe it was ground zero, Columbia University in New York City has been the target of the Trump administration and the fucking Biden administration. While we're not gonna bullshit, Columbia University has been targeted now by two administrations for either allowing initially pro-Palestinian encampments and has been encouraged by now two consecutive presidential administrations to allow violence upon its own students, to turn over lists of foreign students who may have been participating in organizations and in the Free Palestine movement. Columbia University has rolled over like a fucking submissive dog. And it's tragic because when fascism comes, the institutions are usually the first one to go and the first ones to get in line, the first ones to capitulate, the first ones to comply without being asked. The institutions are doing that. So fuck Columbia and shout out to Harvard. What am I doing here? How am I rooting for Harvard? But Harvard is holding us nuts against the Trump administration. But anywho, at the recent Columbia University Spring 2025 commencement, the president of Columbia University, Claire Shipman addressed the graduates. Why did she do that? Because the graduates, when I tell y'all they booed the shit out of Claire, they booed the absolute shit out of this lady. Gave this lady the fucking blues. I don't know who told Claire ass to get up there. Oh, Claire, it's gonna be fine. No, no. It was not fine for Claire, nor should it have been. Because, bitch, if you be compliant and complicit in fascism, in denying people freedom of expression, freedom to assemble, in helping the state kidnap your students, denying them due process, you should be booed everywhere you fucking go. You need to be booed going to the cafeteria. You need to be booed going to the goddamn parking garage. Like, boo her everywhere. Don't just boo her at commencement. Boo her at the dry cleaners. Boo her all the places. But I want you guys to be uplifted, heartened that the students of Columbia University have not forgotten their comrades. And they wanted to make sure that Claire didn't forget either, that she did not forget the commencement ceremony of 2025. Let's take a look at the clip, please.
Shipman.
Thank you. Good morning, class of 2025. I know that many of you feel Good morning, class of 2025. I know that many of you feel some amount of frustration with me, and I know you feel it with the administration. And I know we have a strong, strong tradition of free speech at this university. And I am always open to feedback, which I am getting right now. The work of your generation will be to shape these interesting times, to define the values. The work of your generation will be to define and shape these interesting times, to define the values and the direction of this century. It will also be to rebuild trust by reaching out and creating common ground so that others will follow.
Wow. Well, actually, what a whole generation of college students have learned over the past 2 years and maybe even 5 years and beyond is that their universities are not to be trusted. Is that their rights and abilities, the students' rights and abilities to come to a campus and consume various gradations of thought, of political ideologies, of different logical disciplines. Like, no, all that is being curbed and curtailed. And while it seems to be felt more acutely, or it's more visceral under Trump, with the repression that those Columbia University students who were fighting on behalf of Palestine, they started to experience that under a Democratic president, under Joe Biden. Trump would not be able to threaten Columbia University's endowment. Trump would not be able to dictate to Columbia University the type of curriculum that they can teach and the type of faculty that they can hire and the type of students that they will admit. Trump would not have been able to do any of this shit if Joe Biden had to clear the fucking way, hadn't greenlit the fucking NYPD against these college students who, again, weren't really tearing up shit. They were doing a small tear up, not big tear up. And all of this under the guise of anti-Semitism, that these students, and by extension all of our desire to see a free Palestine, is somehow anti-Semitic. And Claire Shipman, president of Columbia University, has been complicit in allowing that lie and those multifolded lies that just fall constantly from the Trump administration to go along with it and to sacrifice students of Columbia in the process. So shout out to the class of 2025 at Columbia University and all the universities in which students and speakers gave voices of solidarity and support for Palestine, who booed who booed Zionist speakers and people who have not shown themselves to be allies of the Palestinian people. 2025 students that are graduating, you guys are coming into a world of very, very interesting times. And trust me, the childhood that you started with is not going to be the adulthood that you inherited, right? So get strong, get ready to fight in the streets and other places, and keep speaking out, because we don't want more folks to fall into complacency, to fall into liberalism, to try to understand how we can make capitalism, if we just did it with equity. we can do capitalism, but with equity. No, fuck all that shit. Stay radical, kids. Don't lose any of that. Grow it. Show it. Know it. Gang. Where'd you see me cynical? Did you say hi to me, Cynical? Well, did you? Well, did you? I was talking. I was talking. Everybody came and said hi to me. I was daps and hugs. Y'all should have seen me. I was daps and hugs. Was I not?
Yo,
Oh,
you was hanging
beautiful.
out on stage, or how'd you play that? Like
No,
you
sir.
was
I was
hanging out
there.
like, yo, that's my man right there. That's my man talking right there. I got y'all right there.
That's exactly what I was doing while I was in the
That's my
back.
man talking right in the front, or you
Look,
was on the
I
side.
see you, Kamal. I see you, Rick. Go.
Yo, you beige in real life too, boy. Hold it down.
No, Will, it's funny. The last thing that I went to, I thought about you because they were talking about doing the grocery distribution and doing the co-ops, different places. Where were they? People was from Detroit, people was from Oakland, California. Ooh, Will, the people them came from distances, sir. We had folks from Cali, we had Houston, Texas in the house. We had the young Piolin's ghost Claudia Young Stunner came from the other hemisphere to come hang out. I saw the last thing and I said, Will might be in there next year talking about Tubman House.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with it. Yep. I just get excited when people, that many people from all over coming together on some, intellectual shit. I fuck with that.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Well, I saw some boxes rolling up. Can we give
Yep.
acknowledgement to the
So we got definitely like almost what we got 170
what?
was the highest I see. We dancing now around 130. Yep. Shout out to all the Fire fam. We see y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for everything. Shout out to Nat A. Salute to you, Kim, me, and the Fire fam. We appreciate you, Nat.
Thank you.
And shout out to, of course, Latif.
Shout out to Latif.
Cynical said it was nice to seeing you, but Latif was funny. He said, want to thank the 5-minute trolls for the sub just to talk your shit. Keep up the good work.
That's the cost of admission, trolls. You want to talk shit, you got to hit that sub button. You got to hit the sub button. Talk all the shit you want, okay? After 5 minutes of subscriptions, okay? Okay.
That's hilarious. That's really what they do, too.
That's all. No, someone ran us some money. Didn't I see a little $2 junk?
That was Latif.
Oh, that was Latif. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Shout out to
Yipper.
Yipper, Project Dystopia.
Shout out Project Dystopia.
Afraid Not, Chi Macho. What up? Dante True, Neo Geo 12, PNJ, Vespa X, of course.
What facility?
The Hammer, Old Dirty Kung Fu. What up? Steel, yeah. Who else? Sweary Fairy, Terry Conley, JXY.
Hey. JXY, what's up? Thank you so much, Vesper X. Thank you. Well, I felt it was somebody else I was supposed to shout out, but
Valley Girls, you got Valley Girls.
Valley
I'm trying to make sure I got everybody. Cynthia, what up? We appreciate you.
Yep. Shout out again to everyone that came out to the conference.
Lovely lady 37177. We appreciate you. Pamela Jones, of course.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you.
Oh, all right. I think I got Don Hammond.
Dawn, you was missed. Every time, Dawn. I wish I want to keep with you a little bit. Dawn, it's all right. Ask about you.
Go ahead, spill that tea then.
All right, ask
like
about
that.
Dawn. It's all right. Ask about Dawn. It's all right. Fine, too, Dawn.
Go ahead, spill that tea, God.
Somebody fine. Ask, how come Dawn ain't here? I said, oh shit. But I mind my business though, Dawn. Auntie mind her business. I ain't want to gossip. You ain't heard it from me. Okay, Wilbert, you got anything? Any parting shots for the folks? All right.
Yep.
Thank you to Will. Thank you to Molly, as usual. Thank you all, Fire Fam. We appreciate you. Love you. Tune in to the Remix Morning Show, Black Liberation Media. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. You can join us 8 a.m. Eastern most weekdays. I might be on tomorrow. I think Jackie's still in China. Jackie's in China. So I might be on the morning show tomorrow. If not, come hang out with me Thursday. And don't forget Classical Breakdown with myself and the Ear Doctor Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Love y'all to pieces. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Fine, Dawn. Fine.